Live from the Fantasy Garage, it is the weekend update with Dustino. We're ready for week number 14 of the NFL. We've got a huge show for you tonight. Big program, ready to get started. We got a big week of fantasy football. We got college football playoffs starting very soon. We got some conference championship games. We got 3 college basketball plays that were released earlier on the channel. We're going to watch those in live real time. We got all sorts of action. World Cup drawings were made. Oh my goodness, the sports world is absolutely on fire. And we are ready to bring it all to you here on one show, the weekend update with me, Dustino. Welcome in, everybody. How the hell are you? I hope you're having a great Friday night. Welcome in to the Fantasy Garage. You got me, Dustino, here to get you ready for the weekend of football, college football, NFL football, fantasy, betting, you name it. We got you. College basketball, college football, the whole 9 yards. We're ready to rock and roll. We got a great show for you. No guests tonight, just going to be me, the Dustino, live and direct. The one-man band ready to wreck it, though. We are fired up. We got energy. We have the margarita ready, and we are going to kick some butt tonight. So let's go. Before we get started, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Come on, you want content? We got it every night of the week here on the Pop Sports Network, including all those short videos we do, lead pipe locks. You got my picks all the time coming up on the channel. Love to have you join the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. Come on. You can support the channel. You don't have to do anything. You click a button. Like, subscribe. Very simple. Leave some comments in the chat if you're in here. We got a bunch of eyeballs in here right now. Welcome in. Thanks for being on the show. We're glad to have you. And thanks for hanging out with me. I know a lot of you Connecticut friends are watching the UConn game starting very soon. And we got to play on that game. So if you go down to the bottom ticker, right, you look on the bottom ticker of the screen, you'll see my 3 plays that I released earlier on on one of my short videos earlier today. UConn and East Texas over 140.5. I'll give you a quick rundown on the handicap. Kentucky team total under 78.5 on that one. And we also have the Cincinnati against who's Cincinnati playing tonight? Cincinnati and Xavier under in the first half of that game as well. So we got a jam-packed evening for you. We got live action while we're on the show. We got some college football games coming on tonight. We may look into those if we get a chance to, but we got a big show planned for you tonight. So thank you for tuning in with us. We got 200 eyeballs in here watching the show. So thank you for being on with us. We appreciate you. You are in the Fantasy Garage. You're ready to rock and roll. Make sure you let us know in the chat, what you're sipping on tonight on this beautiful Friday night. We got a great night down here in Florida. It's beautiful out. This is the time of year you want to be down here. We put in our time in the summer, and then it comes down to the wintertime. This is when we love being down here. Weather is absolutely perfect. All right, so handicaps real quick. UConn East, Texas. Here's my thought process. UConn coming off a huge win at Kansas. Maybe a little letdown spot, right? Danny Hurley's a fired-up coach. He's probably not going to let you let down. However, if they do have a little letdown, where's it going to be? I think it's going to be on the defensive end of the floor. They're going to score their points against a way lesser opponent, okay? That's just a fact. They're just way too good. They're going to clean up on the glass. They're going to outclass them. They're 38.5-point favorite, right, for crying out loud. So we think if they lax defensively, East Texas is going to get their points. UConn, we know, is going to get their points. We love 140.5 in that game. Kentucky, we took the team total under 78.5. Gonzaga got the break speed off them, right? They got beat big time by Michigan about a week or so ago, maybe a little less than a week ago, somewhere in that neighborhood. A lot of kids take off for Thanksgiving, but they gave up 100 points to Michigan. Mark Few's been talking. I've been looking up on Twitter and all that. He's been talking about how he wants to get their defense. He was very disappointed in their defense. So what are they going to do? They're going to come out fired up on defense when you got a good coach. Kentucky's not your normal Kentucky. We've talked about this already, and it's hit for us 3 or 4 times already. When these two good teams clash early in the year, the numbers get inflated because you're playing against cupcakes, right? When 2 teams meet it, right? It's like you're the big fish in the little pond, right? Now you're a big fish in a big pond going against other good teams. We like the under 78.5. Also on a neutral floor, Nashville. So that's not a gym you normally play in. You love taking the under there where you don't know what the rims are like. You don't know what the surroundings are like. It's a little something different for those kids. And if you look at it, hey, this is the beautiful thing. We're live here, right? We're live on the air. Kentucky, we're almost 4 minutes into the game, ladies and gentlemen. We're 3 minutes and 15 seconds into the game. Kentucky has the goose. They have the Blue Toski from Animal House, 0.0. They have not scored a point yet, and we're 4 minutes into the game. So we're looking pretty good there. And then Xavier, Cincinnati. Oh, my Lord. If you're an old school college basketball guy like me, these are two teams that just absolutely hate each other. The hatred is real. It's going to be a fun game. Hopefully I get to maybe, if I can keep my show in a good time frame, I should be able to see the final few minutes of that game. That's going to be a drop. Drag them out, rough and tumble, no layups for free in the paint, rough house, old school college basketball game, Cincinnati and Xavier. If anybody's in the chat knows how close they are, I know that I'm pretty sure they're pretty close in proximity, Cincinnati, Xavier, so we like that under. You can see it on the bottom ticker. All right, now we're going to get into the NFL, obviously. Huge week for your fantasy teams. This is the last week, or at least it should be, your last week before the fantasy playoffs. Start sit questions. Get them in the chat. I'm happy to help. We've got a lot of injuries like we always do on Friday. This is why we did this show Friday nights. This is why I picked this time slot, because we got injuries galore that are going to hit us, and you need to be ready. You have to have backup plans. You have to have a backup plan for the backup plan. We've got to be ready. We cannot lose here. I know I've got, we've heard my fantasy addiction could be addicted to a lot worse things. I'm in 14 dynasty leagues and 3 redraft leagues. So that's 17 leagues, ladies and gentlemen. I've got a handful that need wins this week to get in the playoffs or need wins to get the bye. Got a handful of teams that are going to miss the playoffs that didn't work out. So you know what? That's the cool part about Dynasty. You turn it into a re-roll, you start rebuilding, okay? When you're in a season-long league, tough crap, buy-bye $100, buy-bye $50, whatever your buy-in is. My biggest money league, I'm having my best year ever finally in that league, and I am in 3rd place right now. So I'm in the playoffs. I'd love to get to 2nd and get a bye. I need to win. It's a double-header league. You play double headers. That's the league that's very, very deep. I've got 4 players basically that have been carrying me all year. I have Josh Allen. I have Bijan Robinson. I have Jackson Smith and Jigba and Brock Bowers. I mean, that's the deep league. That's the league I'm starting Chimere DK. That's the league I start Michael Carter every so often. That's the league I've started Jalen Noel. Thankfully, I got Adonai Mitchell. Jets legend Adonai Mitchell. I've gotten off the waiver wire, who's been huge for me and could be huge going forward. We'll get to all that shortly. Before we get to that, I want to talk a little bit. I don't go on these rants, right? That's what, you have TJ and Buff to do that. You have Abby's rant show on Wednesday night where they kind of just let things off my chest. I do let some stuff off my chest here as far as the NFL, but I'm going to let some stuff off my chest here as far as college football, okay? And college sports in general. It's driving me crazy. I'm a huge college basketball fan. College football, not my thing. I work Saturdays. You got to pick and choose your battles when you get older. My battles are on Saturday. That's where I work. That's where I get all my stuff done. Sundays, I like to enjoy and relax and watch football, NFL. But this whole Lane Kiffin thing, I am so sick of this bull crap. Are you kidding me, dude? You're going to go to a school. You're going to recruit kids. You're going to go in their living rooms. You're going to call them, get on Zoom, whatever it is you do to recruit. Tell these kids to commit to you. Tell these kids you want to build something at Ole Miss. Tell these kids to commit and sacrifice and make all these sacrifices to you. And you're going to leave them high and dry before the playoffs and take off to LSU for the quickest money. I mean, we're millionaires here. You're a millionaire already, man. You're already a millionaire. Is there anybody who has integrity out there anymore? Is there anybody who has integrity out there anymore? I mean, give me a freaking break, and you're going to leave these kids. And now how are you going to go sit in a living room at LSU and tell a kid, hey, I know you're committed here. You could go here. Come play for me. Come play for me. Come play for you. You got no integrity. You have no commitment. You jump at the next dollar. Somebody offers you $1 more, you're going to go. I'll tell you a little story. I got offered the job to come down here to Florida, which I always wanted to be down here in Florida. Okay. And they wanted me sooner than I was going to come down. Now, who am I? I'm just a golf pro. Okay. But you know what I did? And I was at Orono Country Club, great club up in the Northeast. Okay. Private club as the director of golf, head golf professional, whatever you want to call it. Okay. And I got offered the job in Florida, and we really wanted to come to Florida, my wife and I. Okay. We did. And I got offered the job right around Labor Day, somewhere in that neighborhood. Maybe it was a little before Labor Day, somewhere in that neighborhood. But you know what I told them? Obviously, if the rubber hit the road and they put my feet to the fire, maybe I would have had a different choice. I said, you know what? I can't leave this place. We were not a full big staff. It was me, an assistant pro, and maybe a part-timer or two in the golf shop. I can't leave these people that I've been with for 6, 7 years, 6, 7, and I can't leave them high and dry. Can I get through my closing day tournament, which was, I think, end of September? I got to get through Labor Day. I got to get through a couple of events, blah, 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 and then I'll be there. And you can't even do that when you're making multi-million dollars, and you're going to look kids in the eye now and ask for their commitment and ask them to not leave and ask them to not transfer. You're a piece of junk. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you say. You're already a multi-millionaire. You know what? When the rubber hits the road and you go 6 feet under and people got to put your gravestone down, okay, they're going to remember these things. They're going to remember your integrity. They're going to remember your character. And for you to turn your back on those kids who fought and clawed and scratched and earned a berth in the college football playoffs, and then you turn your back on them and leave them before the playoffs, it's garbage. You're garbage. Absolute garbage. And I know some of the rules of the sport need to change. And I understand it's a business. But give me a freaking break. Okay? I was a part of a business. And you know what I said? I said, hey, listen, I can't do that to these people. I can't do that to my current employer. I can't do that. Let me get through my Labor Day tournament. Let me get through this tournament. Let me get through the closing day. Let me get to October and leave and not burn a bridge and bridge the gap to the next people that take over and not leave this place high and dry because I put my heart and soul in everything. That tells me you're gutless. You're a gutless, money-grabbing, egomaniac scumbag. Fine. Scumbag. He's never going to watch this show, and that's fine. But I'll tell you what, garbage. I hope LSU never wins another game. I don't watch a ton of college football anyway, but I hope LSU goes in the absolute crapper. And what has this guy actually really done? He's a paper champion, living off of his father. Give me a break, Lane Kiffin. Give me an absolute freaking break. You're a bum. You're a nobody. I hope you never win a game. You got no integrity, and I hope kids turn their back on you and leave all the time. All right, that's enough of that. You know me. I'm actually a very positive guy. But that really, really pisses me off. Really pisses me off to do that. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, we're 5 minutes in to the Gonzaga-Kentucky game. Kentucky has 1 point. All right, hey, they're on the board. They're on the board. They got a point. But we're looking pretty good in our under 78.5. Gonzaga leads 9-1. I was going to take Gonzaga too, but I like the under more. Recap of last week. We went 4-4. We might have went 5-4, somewhere in that neighborhood. I'm not going to spend too much time going back on last week, but we did okay. We did okay. A couple of our props hit that were plus money, so we love that. We hit on the Colts under. We hit on a few other ones. We missed on a couple. Hey, it was okay. But what's been carrying the boat for us this year has been these props where we're taking alternate lines, and it happened again last night. So if you watch my short video that went out yesterday, okay, we went 2-1, okay. We hit David Montgomery over yardage. We missed David Montgomery carries, and we hit on what was the other one we hit on? Oh, Jahmyr Gibbs. All right. And something I've been noticing is that these numbers go up as game day comes. So if you like any totals, important that you're here with us Friday night. Very important when you're here. We got 72 people in here. How come I got nobody in the comments? Can I get a comment? Can I get somebody's thoughts on Lincoln? Maybe I'm way off base. Maybe I don't understand this new age. But you know what? I don't want to. If that's what it's about, I don't want to understand the new age. I don't want to understand the new age. Leaving kids, college kids, high and dry. When you're making millions of dollars. Absolute joke. Millionaire chasing a few more million. Get the hell out of here. Integrity. Remember when it's on your gravestone, dude. People are going to remember that when you're 6 feet under. Oh, Kentucky's got 2 points through 6 minutes. Still on pretty good pace. We're still on pretty good pace there. All right. Now we're going to get into the NFL. It's week number 14. Big week last week. The Thanksgiving Day games were unbelievable. Truth be told, I had to work Sunday. I saw a lot of the football, don't get me wrong, but we had a big tournament, huge tournament, a big mixed couples championship type of event. What was it? We called it turkey shoot. Anywho, but I saw a lot of the games. The Sunday games, you didn't miss much. Now, Turkey Day was fantastic. great games on Thanksgiving, but we got some big-time injuries going on in the NFL. We're going to get to them now. Time to get in to the football. Actually, you know what? I did tease that we might look into some college football. I'm not going to touch anything tonight. I will say I almost had one game I released to you all in my short video, and it was going to be Jacksonville State +3. So if you want to, for fun, get in on it live. They're 5 minutes into the game. It's still 0-0. That was the only game that kind of I had some interest in, taking Jacksonville State +3. So if you want to hop in live, be my guest. Go for it, okay? But sit questions for fantasy football. Please get them in the chat. We cannot make the wrong decisions this week. We cannot make the wrong decisions. We got to be on it, okay? We have got to be on it. All right, college football for tomorrow. Let me see if there's anything we like before we get into the NFL. Holy mackerel. I got to minimize. And remember, my internet's been a little hooky, so I'm using the phone here to do research. So I'm not using the bars up top. I don't want to mess it up. All right, let's say we got BYU, Texas Tech, 12.5. See if anything stands out. We got a couple of big games. I know we got the Big Ten Championship, Ohio State -4, 47.5. Something about that game tells me over. 47.5 seems kind of low. Again, this is just us talking, looking at it. And by the way, in a couple of weeks, whenever the college football playoffs are going to start, we are going to have a college football expert. I've got a guy. This guy's been lights out with college football. Brendan Murphy, Beamer, they call him. He's unbelievable with college football. We're going to have him on the program, hopefully, whenever the college playoffs start. You know, your guess is as good as mine with that. I think it's 2 weeks, week and a half, whatever. He's going to give us a rundown on all 12 teams that make the playoffs. He'll give you insight. He'll give you what they need to do to possibly win it all. He'll give you their strengths, their weaknesses, blah, blah. All right, I'm just looking at Indiana. Here's their point totals. Now, again, they're going to go against Ohio State. Pretty good defense. They've scored 56, 31, 27, 55, 56, 38, 30, 20 against Iowa at Iowa. Terrible weather. Remember that game was raining, disgusting. 73, 56, 27. This is a high-powered offense, which other than the Iowa game has scored in the upper 20s, right? And we got 47 total. Ohio State, obviously, they're going to see a different defense, right? Ohio State is no joke. Going to be the best team they played all year. Ohio State just scored 27 at Michigan in bad weather, in snow. 42 against Rutgers, 48, 34, 38, 34, 34. And if I'm not mistaken, this game is in Indianapolis in a dome on a fast track. I mean, their lowest total, they scored 14 against Texas. They've been in the 30s almost every game. I'm sorry, folks. I know they say defense wins championships. This, to me, looks like two offensive juggernauts. I've been told Ohio State's defense is good, but it's not your vintage Ohio State defense. Dustino's giving you a college play, ladies and gentlemen. Write it down. Put it on my ledger. I'm writing it down right now. We're taking over 47.5 in the championship game of the Big Ten. It's probably like the Big 50, right, nowadays. That game's at 8 p.m. 46.5. It's lower. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Guys, get in there now. Get in. Over 46.5. Ohio State, Indiana. I'm taking it now. 46.5. That's a huge. I love that number. I mean, I don't see a world in which both teams don't get in the 20s. I don't see a world where that happens. Maybe you know something I don't. But I like Ohio State, Indiana over. All right, let's see. We got Virginia and Duke, 3.5. Virginia. See, that one screams to me under. Anybody know where that Virginia-Duke game is being played? We'll have to see where that game is being played, that ACC championship game. I think it's outdoors. And then you got Georgia, Alabama. You know what? I don't have a great feel for that one. I've watched a little of Alabama. They have not impressed me. I lean Georgia -1.5. We'll see if we can get anybody with some information, some comments in the chat. But right now, I'm all in on 46.5 over Indiana, Ohio State. I absolutely love it. So those are your three big games really tomorrow. I guess you got that BYU Texas game. You could call it a fourth. Anybody's got any intel, any insights, let us know. But right now we are going over 46.5 Ohio State, Indiana. Let's take a quick look before we get to the NFL on our college basketball game. Oh my goodness. This is beautiful, ladies and gentlemen. This is beautiful. You guys ready for this? Are you ready? The Kentucky Wildcats have scored. Hang on. Oh, God, I just lost it. 2 points in 9 minutes. We're 9 minutes into the game, and Kentucky scored 2 points. I mean, come on. The Dustino. Let's go. I mean, that's the best case scenario I've ever seen in my entire life. I wonder live. I bet you live. I don't know if they do that live. Do they do that live? I bet you live. That number's got to be like 60, 62. Let's see what it is. Kentucky total points. 65 and a half, but still, look at the middle you could do. So if you really want to get out, I'm not getting out. You could hedge, and you got a huge middle to hit. That's something I'd do if I had a huge, I put 50. If you had $500 on that game under, you hedge some of it, right? And you got a huge, 66 through 77, you got a double hit. They're going to score some points, but holy mackerel, what a start. 9 minutes into the game, and they've got 2 points. This is incredible. You can't make it up. But anyhow, without further ado, we need a drum roll. We need a drum roll, people. Remember, I'm my own producer here. We need a drum roll. Well, let's get into week number 14 of the NFL. We're ready to rock and roll. We got a big slate. 4 teams on bye. Giants, Panthers, Patriots. Somebody tell me the fourth one. Giants, Panthers, Patriots. We'll figure out the fourth one. There is a fourth team on bye. Might not be a very special team since I can't remember it. But we will get there. You see on the ticker, make sure you like and subscribe. Hey, at Dustino1, that's my Twitter handle. So go see me on Twitter. Follow. You get the videos. You get all that good stuff. We are going to start off in New York with the Jets. Jets. Love those Jets. Nick Folk, best kicker. Jets, come on. You got something to hang your hat on. You got the best kicker in the NFL, all right? Nick Folk, best kicker in the NFL. Way to go, Jets. You got that down for you. Jets. Coming off. Is that 2 wins in a row for the Jets? Is it? I think it might be 2 wins in a row for them. Is that for sure one? And Tyrod Taylor, we talked about it a little bit, how Tyrod Taylor, similar to Jacoby Brissett, right? Obviously not throwing for 300 yards, but a little better for some of those weapons, right? A little better for some of those weapons. You had Adonai Mitchell, my guy, A.D. Mitchell. I'm taking a victory lap. 8 catches, 102 yards for A.D. Mitchell. New Jets legend, A.D. Mitchell. Now listen to this, all right? So I got 14 dynasty leagues that we've talked about, okay? Listen, they're not all huge money, okay? So don't tell my wife, please. They haven't won 2 in a row. So that was 1 in a row for the Jets. But they've been covering and playing pretty darn good. Anywho, I have 14 dynasty leagues. I have A.D. Mitchell in 12. I am the A.D. Mitchell truther. So I am victory lapping this baby all the way around. Adonai Mitchell just needed a chance. 4.3940. Every big game when he was at Texas, he dominated. He's an athletic freak. He needed an opportunity. And I was screaming. If you go back 2, 3, 4 weeks, I was on the show with TJ and Buff right after. Actually, this is probably 10 weeks ago because this is right after the Malik Neighbors injury. And I was on with TJ and Buff. And I said, go get Adonai Mitchell. He's in the doghouse in Indianapolis. He's in the doghouse. He was a throw-in in this trade that they just did with Sauce Gardner. He was a throw-in. Here. Oh, you want to? Yeah, okay, we need a receiver. You take Mitchell. He was a throw-in. He was in the doghouse. It's Pierce, Downs, and Pittman for Colts. Throw-in, and the guy's 8 for whatever, 100 and whatever. Could be a league winner, folks. He might be a league winner for me in that deep league I'm in. 14-team league. You can't find guys on the wire. I mean, when I'm talking the wire, I'm telling you, it's backup running backs. And I would say half to 2/3 of the backup running backs are owned. So A.D. Mitchell, possible league winner. Now he goes at home against the Dolphins. I've been told the weather is somewhat mild up north. It's not like a crazy cold or windy weekend. All right. We'll start on the Dolphins side of the ball. But anyhow, I had to get my A.D. Mitchell out there, man. I'm the original truther. I'm the original A.D. I'm the number one guy in the A.D. Mitchell fan club. I know he dropped the ball. For the Colts when they were going in for the touchdown. Okay, come on. All right. I'll give the guy a break. He's a young player. All right. Dolphins side of the ball. You got Darren Waller back and had some decent, 5 for 49, somewhere in that neighborhood. So decent game for Darren Waller, the Walrus, whatever you want to call him. So he's a fantasy viable option. I'm looking for a big game from Waddle. Okay. Let's look at Jalen Waddle. Really been disappointing he's been okay. The whole fantasy world, receivers have been terrible. The last 2 years, it's been a huge shift in fantasy. When I first got in Dynasty, it was all about getting wide receivers. Young wide receivers were the golden nugget in Dynasty. And you know what? Ever since these teams went to the too deep shell defense, not letting them get burned deep, and they softened up against the run, it's been running backs ruling the roost. Absolutely ruling the roost. Last week even, you got Waddle, 3 for 40. You thought when Tyreek Hill went down, I got Waddle in 3 or 4 leagues. I thought league winner. Holy crap. I got the golden goose. Tyreek's down. That's what you dream of, right? If you got Waddle, you're dreaming of that scenario, right? Where Tyreek goes down. And it's been It's been very Let's take a look at Waddle's stats. And obviously Tua, you could play him if you have to. You don't play him unless you're in one of these dynasty leagues. And that's where it's tricky. I'm trying to give you dynasty. I'm trying to give you also redraft. Dynasty, you got to do the 2 quarterback deal. Most dynasty leagues are super flex, 2 quarterback. I wish more redraft leagues would go to that, but I get it. People are old school. But here, let's look at this game log for Waddle. Yeah, he's had a couple okay games. Since Tyreek down 7, 20, and this is PPR, full PPR, 7, 23, 15, 2, 20, 14, 19, 8, 7. He's been okay. But you were thinking, wheels up, total domination. He doesn't have Tyreek to snag it. Who are they going to throw the ball to? It just really hasn't panned out. Devon Achane's incredible. You play him against the Jets. You could play Waller. Again, my thoughts. We don't have to go into it on tight ends. Tight ends are they are what they are, man. Unless you have the top guys, good luck. Throw a dart at a wall and see what sticks. But obviously Achane. And, Achane doesn't get talked about enough, obviously, because of the Dolphins, record and kind of living in anonymity. That he's incredible. He is so good. And I loved him coming out of college. Amazingly, I have no Devon Achane shares. There's always just been somebody who liked them more than me. Somebody always liked them just a little more than me, even though I did really like him. And he's 5th. Probably the quietest 5th running back, in the NFL for fantasy purposes, right? And if you look at it, I want to just prove the point here. We're going to go to PPR, because most of my leagues are PPR. We're going to go to flex players, right? Who's leading this season, okay? We're going to count, let's do the top 36 players. So this is just running backs, receivers. There will be tight ends in here. We could weed them out if you want. Let's see what the percentage is of running backs versus receivers in this top 36, right? Remember, there's only 32 starting running backs, and, guys get injured. And you have 64 starting receivers, right? And a lot of teams start 3 wideouts. So really closer in the 70s, 80s, 90s. All right, anyhow. All right, so we got McCaffrey as your leading scorer of all fantasy. You got Gibbs. So let's see. Running back. First 3 are running backs. Then you got Trey McBride. He's been unbelievable. And we'll get to that game. No Marvin Harrison Jr., so McBride to the moon even more. My God, what a tight end he is for fantasy. Anyhow, so 3 running backs. Let's go. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 of the top 36 PPR fantasy players are running backs. There you have it, man. It's turning into more of a running back league. Now, I know the shelf life on running backs isn't as long, so that's the dangerous part, right? You get a 24-year-old running back, and he may have 3 years in him, where you get a 24-year-old receiver could have 6-7 years. There we go again. Isn't it amazing? Now that the 6-7 thing is a thing, how many times you say it, and you don't even realize it. I wasn't even trying to do that. It is amazing how many times that happens. But anyhow, that's just, going to show how good Devon Achane is, and just overall in general, you want those running backs. It seems like running back for sure in redraft, right? But in Dynasty, running backs are becoming more of a hot commodity as well, because they're the ones producing. You got these defenses that don't want to go get beat deep. They go too deep. They've gone a lot softer. They want more speed at linebacker than they do, physical. The old school middle linebacker, big physical guy with the neck brace, and those guys are gone. They want speed guys to cover and, to go out in coverage, and they've let the running backs kind of go out. So there you have it. All right, as far as my lean, we'll see if it makes my final plays at the end. I'm leaning Jets. You got Miami. Everybody thinking, okay. I don't believe it. I don't believe Miami. I think they're beating bad teams. They should have lost to New Orleans. They almost blew that game against New Orleans. If Chris Olave catches that ball, they threw a deep ball. I don't know if you saw the game. They threw a deep ball to Olave to win the damn game or to tie it, and it hit him right in the hands and didn't catch it. New Orleans had them on the ropes. Let me just check the weather real quick, but I'm leaning Jets. You got a cold weather team going up there. The Jets are playing hard. You got the best kicker in the league, Nick Folk. You've got Adonai Mitchell, new Jets legend, Breece Hall, who you love. I think they got to re-sign Breece. I hope they re-sign Breece. Sunday, you're looking at 44 degrees. So you're looking at a nice day. But still, that's way colder. Mike McDaniel is going to be all bundled up, probably doing his e-cigarettes, trying to stay warm. The heck with that guy. I still think he should hit the road. I know he's rallied the troops a little, but I like Jets. I would love to see 3. I'm not taking them at 2.5. That's one where I want the 3. I want the 3 all day. Let's see what we got here. Because these lines were put up earlier this week. So I want to make sure we're accurate. We're giving you great, accurate numbers. It is still 2.5, but it's Miami Dolphins minus 120. So that means money's coming in on the Dolphins. We'll take the Jets if it gets +3, but we're going to leave it alone for now. All right. Next game, Saints and the Buccaneers. Big ball game down here in Tampa. And Sunday, a lot of rain in the forecast. Boy, could we use it at the golf course. Holy mackerel, we need some rain. But there's rain in the forecast. Saints and the Bucs, 8 points. Bucs and Saints. Saints side of the ball. Chris Olave, questionable. So have a backup plan in mind. Very questionable. Going to be probably a game-time decision with a back injury. Devon Vele had a huge game for the Saints. 8 catches, 90 yards, touchdown. He's a guy you could pick up, stash. If you've got banged-up guys, you could do a lot worse than throwing him on your bench. They have to throw the ball to somebody. They're going to be behind. Olave a little banged up. Look for Devon Vele. No Alvin Kamara. So Devin Neal should get the lion's share of the carries. Do with that what you will. I think the Bucs gear up to stop the run. They're going to make this Tyler Shuck beat him. So I don't think Devin Neal's some great play, but he's a guy that you could throw in there if you absolutely have to. He had 14 carries for 47 yards. He doesn't appear to have any juice. I saw nothing. The Vele is the guy you want to look at. Juwan Johnson, if Olave's out as well, becomes interesting as a tight end. He had 9 targets, 5 catches, 39 yards. Bucs side of the ball, Bucky Irving back. And it was nice to see Bucky Irving walk right back into his bell cow role. He kind of dominated the touches, played about 56% of the snaps, somewhere in that neighborhood. But as far as the Bucs go, still Baker playing banged up. 17 carries for Bucky, 61 yards. He also had a couple of catches. Godwin's going to play. Ibuka's going to play. Jalen McMillion's coming back. Mike Evans may be back. Those two are game-time decisions, but the Bucs are getting healthy at the right time. And this should be a good ball game. I don't love giving up 8 points in a divisional game. If I had to lean anything, I'd lean Saints team total under. I'll have to look at what that is. One of the things I heard coming in is the Saints have not scored more than 17 points in like 8 weeks, 10 weeks. Let's see. I didn't say 6 or 7. See, it said 8 or 10. Let's see. New Orleans. Let's see their schedule. They scored 17 last week, and they needed kind of a miracle to get there. 10, 17, 10, 3, 14, 19 against the Pats. and then 26 against the Giants, but that was back in week 5. But since Shuck has taken over, they have yet to score 17 points. So if I'm looking at this over under 42 and the Bucs favored by 8, what's that? What are they implying? They're implying that the Bucs are going to score 26 to 18. No, that wouldn't do it. Yeah, 25 to 17, it looks like. Somewhere in that neighborhood. That's probably it. So we're probably getting a Saints team total of 17. Do you see him, especially if Olave's out? Do you see him scoring more than 17 points? I certainly don't. So that may be one that we look at putting on our ledger. Saints team total. See, but that's where it's weird. Their team total is 15.5. So that makes me want to take the under in the game. Because what's the Bucs total? Bucs total is 24.5 or 25.5. So 25 and 14 is 39. Even if it's half, so it's 40. You see that, folks? You look at the two team totals that they have, and it only comes up to 40 points, but 42 is the over-under. So just from a value standpoint, looks like a little value there in the under. So that's what you got in that game. You're playing your usual suspects, things like that. Keep an eye on the Mike Evans thing. Keep an eye on Olave. All right, Steelers and the Ravens, an old school battle. Two teams that just absolutely want to beat each other up. Two teams that hate each other. It's always a dogfight. I remember, I don't know, a couple of years ago, there was a stretch where like no game was ever decided by 4 or more. We lost last week with the Steelers. They're just, I don't know, they're kind of heartless and gutless, and that Aaron Rodgers is a shell of himself. Don't know why he keeps on playing. I mean, he's an egotistical guy. He wants he loves the limelight. Hey, we got some comments finally in the chat. We got a Jeff Schneider. Oh, this guy was unbelievable, this Schneider. Holy smacks, this Jeff Schneider. He was on with TJ and Buff a couple of weeks ago, and I tuned in. I was on vacation up in San Antonio. I mean, this guy nails it. This guy's got to be on more shows. Jeff Schneider, Bucks fan, unbelievable mind. I mean, some of the insight and the numbers he was giving us was absolutely off the charts. Big Bucks fan. He says the Bucks are a great number to win it all right now. Listen, I bet it live when you were doing your show. You were on with TJ and Buff or subbing in for somebody, and I took the Bucks. I got $34 to win $510 on the Bucks to win the NFC, plus 1,400. They're getting healthy at the right time. The games are going to come down to, obviously this game against the Saints, 8-point favorite. So, pretty good odds there. And then they got 2 against the Panthers. Those are going to be huge, huge games against the Panthers. Those are going to decide the division, but the Bucks are getting healthy at the right time. They need Baker to get a little more healthy. But yeah, the Bucks are live, and I don't see, we saw it. We've been talking about on this show for the last however many weeks that we don't see a just dominant team. And then all of a sudden, whenever you think one is, they get knocked down. I guess the Patriots are the only ones that keep standing up to everything, every challenge that presents itself to them. But we got the Rams, and then they go into Carolina and get beat, which, if you watch the video, we had Carolina Sunday morning. We had Carolina plus 10.5. Game we liked. We thought that was a trap spot for the Rams, and it turned out to be a trap spot. And the Panthers won that game. So, you could name out any team that makes the NFC playoffs, and I could give you a story for them, and I could give you a story against them. Right? That's just the way it is right now. And the same thing almost in the AFC. AFC is a little more top-heavy with New England. Again, they keep answering the bell. You keep thinking, maybe they're not for real. They had an easy schedule, blah, blah. And they keep answering the bell. So if they win the next 3 at home, they clinch the division. Absolutely. And they get 3 home games. That's huge. Their schedule's significantly easier than the Panthers, but they were counting on the Panthers. We were, most people were counting on that Rams game being a loss for the Panthers. So that was a big, big win, and that just makes the Bucs a little more sense of urgency. Jeff, I know you are pretty connected with the Bucs. Mike Evans, Jalen McMillan, what are you hearing? You think they're going to play? Do they hold them one more week? Do they think they can get through this Saints game without them? That's a big question for fantasy. So have backup plans ready. It's week 14. It is your final week before the playoffs in fantasy. You better darn well be ready. All right. Oh, so Jeff is saying Mike Evans is ruled out. So that must have come through recently because I saw a game time decision. But it sounds like Mike Evans ruled out. They're going to go one more week without him. Listen, I don't see it on my feed, but I trust Jeff. This guy knows his stuff, man. The guy's unbelievable. I don't know if he's got a Twitter handle or whatever. Maybe it's at Jeff Schneider 7261. But you should follow this guy. He's great. Hopefully, maybe we'll have him on the program. Maybe we'll have him on for the college playoffs. This guy knows college football like you wouldn't believe. It's not my forte. I know numbers. I know situations. I know a little bit to be dangerous. Like, I love the Ohio State. And if you're just joining us, Jeff, I gave out official play. You tell me what you think. But that Ohio State Indiana number seems really low as far as over 46.5. I love it. Both teams have pretty good offenses. I think the offenses are better than the defenses from what I've seen. I love over 46.5. And if I'm not mistaken, that is in a dome, right? It's in Indianapolis typically. I could be wrong on that. But if it is, I love that over 46.5. So we'll definitely, we'll definitely have you on. I know Friday night's a big night for you, making money or going out and being the mayor of Orlando like you always are. So that's a tough night. But if you will grace us with your presence, I would happily have you on anytime. Maybe we'll have you on for the semifinals of college football. Indoors. Okay, so it is indoors. We love it. 46.5. I don't give you a ton of college football. I'm loading up on that over. Loading up on that over. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Thanks, Jeff, for coming in, getting in the chat, being involved. Got 42 people watching, so thank you for making us a part of your Friday night. I know it's tough now, right, with the holidays. I'm missing a kid's little thing at the school. But that's right. The show must go on, man. The show goes on. The weekend update is not going anywhere. We're going to be on. All right, Steelers, Ravens, back to that. Aaron Rodgers is going to play. Jalen Warren going to play. DK Metcalf's really the only receiver you can take from there. I mean, Freiermuth, the Jonnu Smith, you can't trust any of the guys. Jalen Warren's not a bad play. Ravens defense still not very good. We have Adam Thielen joins the Steelers. I don't think he's saving anything, but somebody to keep an eye on. I mean, Rodgers has been begging for a number 2 receiver to step up. And I got to, hey, listen, as much as I'm doing an Adonai Mitchell victory lap, I got to do a whatever. I got to suck it up and whatever, take my whip, take my licks, get whipped for Roman Wilson. I thought Roman Wilson was going to be a decent player in the NFL. Every time I turned on a Michigan highlight when I was watching tape, it was this guy, Roman Wilson. It was this guy, Roman, and it hasn't panned out. So he's been begging for a second receiver. Keep an eye on Thielen. I certainly would not grab him and start him right now, and he may never be startable. But he's not a terrible guy if you're in a deep league to throw on the bottom of your bench and just see what happens. How about Lamar Jackson? My goodness, has he been bad? I saw something that over the last 2 or 3 weeks combined, he's been the number 34 quarterback in fantasy, or number 34 in quarterback efficiency. There's only 32 teams. So that means some of these backups, Max Rosmer beat him? I don't know. There's no way that's possible. But Lamar Jackson has not been right. He's got to be more injured than they're letting us know. He's got to be more injured than they're letting us know. That's the only thing I think. So if you're in a dynasty league, maybe you buy Lamar Jackson. Maybe a great time to buy Lamar Jackson, just for the fact of, if you're a win now team and you're going against and you have him, maybe you can get a Herbert. Maybe you can give somebody. Herbert's kind of bagged up too. Trying to think of a good scenario where you can get Lamar Jackson, because he is gold typically in dynasty football and he's gold in fantasy football, but he has been down. So maybe a team that's in the playoffs in dynasty that's like win now, just wants immediate production, and you can give him somebody and be able to wiggle Lamar Jackson on the cheap. But he's been bad. They're, how about the signing of Mark Andrews? Very, very interesting signing. Just seems like a lot of money for a guy they've been phasing out of the offense. He keeps getting phased out. I know he's a good blocker, but they keep phasing him out. The Ravens are one of those teams that's just kind of loyal to a fault sometimes with their guys. They let those guys hang around for way too long. I don't know. I didn't think that was a good, allocation of your funds if you were the Ravens. So don't love that. Derrick Henry, you love Derrick Henry in the wintertime, man. The Yeti. You give the ball to the big Yeti and you let the Yeti. People start making business decisions when it's 30 degrees out and 40 degrees out, and they got to tackle that big man. I know I might give him the old Ole. I think I'd give the Ole to Derrick Henry if I saw him running at me. So, yeah, fire up your Derrick Henry. Pass catchers, the Steelers have been bad against tight ends. But again, likely Andrews, I guess they paid him. They're going to use him, but they haven't been using him tremendously. You know my thoughts on tight ends. Zay Flowers been very disappointing. Nobody else there has stepped up as a number 2 receiver. I lean Steelers just because of the ugliness of the game. It's always within 3 or 4 points. I like the Steelers. I know they've disappointed us, but Steelers +6. We'll see if it makes my final countdown when I write them all down at the end. But that's the way I lean because I just don't – something's wrong with that Ravens offense. That offense is broken. Their defense is still not very good. There's just something wrong there. There's really nobody else you play. I mean, that's kind of the story of fantasy, right? As we go through these games, and we've been doing this for 8, 9 weeks, 10 weeks, whatever it is, we get to a lot of these games and we're like, there's like 1 or 2 guys on each team. And even then you don't love playing them. And then you get a couple teams, the Rams and stuff, where you're fired up for the guys. Or, like last night with CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens and all those guys. And obviously Jahmyr Gibbs. Guy's been unreal. I'll take a little L on that. I'm not going to take a total L, but I've always been Team Bijan over Gibbs. And but Gibbs has just been absolutely incredible. He's been a lot more durable than I thought. I thought he was a little smaller frame guy. I did not think he was going to be this durable. He's been tremendous. And again, if you're in the chat and you're in the room, get in the comments like Jeff. Let us know you player props. We haven't really done anything because I haven't loved any of those games. I'm interested in my guy, A.D. Mitchell. Has Vegas caught up to A.D. Mitchell? And I haven't looked at it, but I think if he's anything under 50, I love it. I mean, we just looked at the weather. It's going to be 43 degrees. Not bad. Tyrod Taylor's been swinging the ball. The guy got 11 targets, 8 catches. I don't know if Vegas catches up on these things quick enough sometimes. So let's look. If it's anything under 50, I don't see why not. He's going to get peppered, and he gets deep shots. Let's take a quick peek here. Sometimes if I have a guest, I'll do this while the guest is on, but we're one-man show tonight. We had 2 guys lined up. Oh, it's 47.5, so they caught up a little bit. I'm not going to touch it. If I did, I'd take alternate line 65 and see what it is. 65, he's plus 190. See, I love these alternate lines. These alternate lines have kept us afloat all year because they're plus so much money. You can go 40% and win money. It's unbelievable. I do think Waddle gets going a little bit in this game. I do think Waddle. He's 61.5 though, so it's kind of priced accordingly. We're going to stay away. Steelers, Ravens. I'm leaning Steelers. We'll see if it makes the final tally. Quick, let's get an update on our college basketball plays that we gave out today on the shorts. Let's see where Kentucky is. Has Kentucky got the double digits, folks? Have they got the double digits? They were at 2 points, I think, 9 minutes into the game. Dustino is feeling it. We're seeing the court, baby. Kentucky, where are they at? Hey, 33 points in the UConn East Texas game. I like it. They're both scoring. There's some points going on. We like it. Kentucky's got 16, and it's almost halftime. And we got under 78.5 for Kentucky team total. They have 16 points with 2 minutes, 35 seconds to go. We are looking good there. Cincinnati and Xavier, 29 points, 8 minutes into the game. We're not amazing there. We're okay, right? We're under 69.5. So let's, it's almost halfway through the half. So we've got 2 more minutes to go. If we could keep it to, 35 points, they're at 29 now. We're on pace. It's gonna, that one might come down to the wire. So we're looking good there. My college football game I was going to take, we didn't end up giving it out. Would have been Jacksonville State +3. They're down 7-0. So maybe a good thing we stayed away from that one. All right, let's keep it moving here. We got another guy in here, Dr. Golf Pro 6264. All right, Dr. Golf Pro, welcome into the channel. A.D. Mitchell's over-under is 3.5 receptions. Is that right? We only have Hard Rock down here in Florida. Let me take a look, though. I like that, man. Good. This is what this show is about. Helping each other out, getting on it. The receiving yards, okay, they might have caught on to us. They're up to 47.5. But receptions, 3.5? Yeah, see, here's my only thing, Golf Pro, and maybe you got a better line. I got over 3.5, but it's minus 165. And if you guys follow my show, you've been watching the channel, watching the shorts. I can't lay a 165. I just can't do it. Now, I could take an alternate, but the problem with the Hard Rock is the alternate is to get to 6. And 6 is a lot of catches. It's plus 275, but that's a lot of catches. And especially in a game where the Jets, it's going to be close. They may not be trailing and having to chuck it. They may want to ball control with Brees. But listen, Dr. Golpro, if you've got it and it's minus 110, minus 120, I like it. I like it, man. I like it a lot. Unfortunately, I got minus 165, and I just, out of principle, I can't do it. But if you see anything else, please chime in, help me out. That is fantastic. All right, here we go. Here's a game. We're not even going to wait. We are not going to wait for the end of the show to give you 5. We are taking the Jacksonville Jaguars plus 1.5 at home against the Colts. I heard it earlier on a show, and I got to make sure. Let me make sure I got this right. But I'm pretty sure that the Colts have lost straight up to the Jags like 7 or 8 times in a row in Jacksonville. Colts at Jacksonville history. Let me see if hopefully AI will help us out here. And maybe if somebody's in the chat, they can look it up. But I heard this riding to work, and I couldn't believe it. And then you look at their favorite. 10 and 14. Okay, yes, here it is. 10 years in a row. This is going to be number 10. 9 straight years the Colts have lost in Jacksonville. And somehow the Colts are 1.5-point favorite. Can somebody explain that? And the Jags are good. And the Colts are going the other way. And the Jags seem to get all the bounces this year. I'm not waiting. You guys want to wait? You're going to end up with a pick 'em. Take the Jags either money line now and get plus money, or take them plus the 1.5. You want to tease them in something up to 7.5? Be my guest. They're plus 105 money line. I'll take the 1 point. I'll take the 1.5. You'd be surprised how many games end up 1 point. And it's only plus 105. If it was plus 110, 115, I might take the money line. We are making this an official play. The Jags plus 1.5. Absolutely love it. 9 straight losses for the Colts in Jacksonville. What, they all got side pieces? Or there's some club that the Colts like to go to? Whatever it is, something in the water, who knows? The Colts cannot win in Jacksonville. It's wild. Isn't that crazy? 9 in a row? I know at some point it's got to go, but I am not. Oh, he's got minus one. Yeah, see, that scares me, man. I could. He's a deep play guy. If it was John Mechie 3.5, maybe, because he's more of a possession guy, short passes. Hitting on deep balls is tough, and they throw a lot of deep balls to Adonai. I could see him easily with 3 catches for 70, and then we look and we got egg on our face. And I'm not laying those odds. I'm just not. Keep an eye on it. If somehow we get it, but it looks like Vegas caught up to us. Sometimes they don't catch up quick. It looks like they caught up to that one quick. Colts side of the ball. You're playing your normal guys. Now, really crazy. This is insane. And I didn't know this till I looked it up. The Jacksonville Jaguars have the number 1 rush defense in the NFL. I did not know that. So maybe temper your expectations a little with Jonathan Taylor. Obviously, you have him. You got to play him. Daniel Jones did not look very good last week. I know he's playing with that, fracture in his leg. Scary. That's been killing Pittman. It's been killing Tyler Warren. It's been killing Downs. Alec Pierce is the one guy who's still been doing okay through it all. But I think they're going to have to throw the ball against the Jags because the Jags are stacking the run. They're stuffing the run. Number 1 run defense in the NFL. I did not know that. Them and the Patriots are up there really high as far as run defense go. So pretty impressive by the Jaguars. What a turnaround, right? Liam Cohen comes in, turns around the Jags. Hot offensive coordinator. Ben Johnson comes in, turns around the Bears. Hot offensive coordinator. Giants, can we get a hot offensive coordinator? Are there any hot offensive coordinators? There's got to be somebody. So we'll find one somewhere, hopefully. All right, and the Jags side of the ball, Travis Etienne, you play him against the Colts. Their receiving group is kind of a mess. Brenton Strange is a nice sneaky tight end that I do like. Brian Thomas Jr., big disappointment this year. Huge. It looks like Jacoby Myers might be the number 1 receiver there in Jacksonville. So you want to have Jacoby Myers if you can. Brenton Strange, good tight end. And that's really it. Parker Washington, I don't think he's going to play. He's been very limited all week. Maybe he does, but that's really all you like. And there you go. Again, another fantasy game, right? High over under, 47.5. But you don't love any of these guys, right? There's nobody that you're going goo goo gaga over. But anyhow, we like the Jags plus 1.5. All right, next game. Ooh, boy, stinker here. Titans and the Browns. Browns favored by 4. We had a theme. Well, we've had a theme for a while, but we really harped in on this theme the last couple weeks because it seemed to have happened more than it has in weeks past. Bad teams shouldn't be favored, or we don't like bad teams to cover when they're favored. Browns. Okay, could they win this game? Sure. Titans are playing a little better. They're playing a lot better with Jeffrey Simmons in the middle against the run. Their defense was kind of a sieve. Their defense actually been kind of good in the last few weeks. Low total, 33.5. What's the weather in Cleveland? Is it that bad? Let's take a look at the weather in Cleveland. But really, nobody you want to play in the Titans. I mean, and especially the Browns D at home has been great. I know they just got lit up by the Niners. We lost that game. We had the Browns +5. Did not win for us. Cam Ward, I don't like what I see. I'm just being honest. I know you got to give him another year because you got to get some offensive players around him, get a better offensive line, some weapons. But I have not liked what I see. Sunday, 34 degrees. Snow. We got 60% chance of snow, 10 to 15 mile an hour winds. I like the Titans in 4. We'll see if it makes the final docket. But if I'm in a pool, I got to pick every game like Jay Joseph is that he talked about last week. I'm taking +4. Do you want to start any Titans? I don't. Tony Pollard. Gunnar Helm's an interesting tight end, but these are dart throws, people. Receiver core. It looks like Alec. What did they say with Ioman? You don't want to play any of these guys anyway. In snow and gross. Chimere Dike, maybe. There's nothing, folks. There's nothing in this game. Brown side, let's see what Shador can do. You can't really play. I guess you can play Harold Fannin. Been good. Obviously, you play Quinshon Judkins. He's been really good. I think he's looked great, and I'll take an L on that one. Not that I disliked Judkins, but I was more team Travion Henderson over Judkins. I thought Henderson more explosive, things of that nature. Let's check out this Alec Iomanor. He's off the report, so he's going to play. But I'm not playing any Titans receivers if I don't have to. Not ever, but especially not in that weather and all that nastiness and whatnot. So no, thank you. Browns. I guess you could play Harold Fannin. You could play Quinshon Judkins, Shador Sanders. Let's see what he can do in this weather again. Deshaun Watson is starting to practice. We're not going to go there. That's a story for another day. Forget that guy. Hope he doesn't play ever again, but we're not going to go there. You can't play Judy. You can't play anybody else, really, unless you're absolutely desperate. My lean is to the Titans and the points based on the weather and just a bad team being favored. They don't usually cover. They just don't. All right, Commanders at Vikings. And this one just flipped with the breaking news of Jaden Daniels playing. J.J. McCarthy will play. Commanders at the Vikings. It was Vikings -2.5. It has flipped 2.5, was at 3.5 points to now the Commanders favored by 1. So we'll see if there's any rust in Jaden Daniels. Terry McLaurin had a nice game back, and now he's got another week to get healthy. Terry McLaurin, if you were able to get through and hold on to Terry McLaurin until the playoffs, you are fired up because now he's back. Now he's got Jaden Daniels. He's ready to go. Zach Ertz, great tight end. That was one of our plays that we hit. We went, what did we say, 4-4 or 5-4, whatever it was. Zach Ertz over 3.5 catches and his yards were our plays. Nailed them both. Zach Ertz is just Mr. Reliable. Deebo Samuel you can play. It is a Vikings team that blitzes, so I would think quick passes. So Zach Ertz, again, is probably a pretty good play. And maybe the numbers suppressed because McLaurin's a little healthier. Maybe Vegas thinks, he's healthier, another week under his belt. Let's take a look. Zach Ertz, again, if we get another 3.5, it might be a play. He's Mr. Boring. He's 4.5. He's 4.5 plus 125. So they're on to us a little bit. 5 is a lot of catches. Another guy like Chris Rodriguez, he runs hard. I don't think he's anything where he has this unbelievable explosive talent. But man, oh man, does that guy run hard. He absolutely runs really, really hard. I think Rodriguez gets the lion's share of the carries. They didn't know early in the year. They were talking about this Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt and, what out of Jeremy McNichols. That's it. Be cautious with Jaden Daniels' first game back. Obviously going against a Vikings team that loves to blitz. They blitz more than anybody else in the NFL. Vikings side of the ball, oh boy, they've been disappointing. J.J. McCarthy has cleared concussion protocol. He's going to play. It's got to be better than Brosmer. And and I was wrong a little bit. What did we say last week? It can't get any worse than J.J. McCarthy. Well, guess what, folks? It got worse. It got way worse. Brosmer looked like he did not belong out there. He looked like a New Hampshire quarterback trying to play in the NFL. He got absolutely clobbered by the Seahawks. Tough spot, too, for the kid. Going at Seattle. Are you kidding me? That is about, that's the one spot you wouldn't want to send a rookie quarterback out to. And so he got 4 interceptions. Poor Justin Jefferson. Poor Addison. Poor Hawkinson. Just can't get anything going because of the quarterback play. And that's why in fantasy, if you just stick to good offenses and teams with good quarterbacks, obviously injuries can happen, right? And, you thought so-and-so, but Chase is kind of quarterback proof, but their backup, Flacco, was capable. But that's why it's so important to get a guy in a good environment. I mean, Justin Jefferson, he can't overcome guys throwing it at his feet and throwing it 15 feet over his head. But J.J. McCarthy, the jury's still out, although it's getting pretty skewed towards him being out and him just not being any good. The knocks against him coming in were that he was a game manager, that he didn't really have to do much at Michigan, that they had way more talent than everybody, that they won running the ball with Blake Corum and guys like that, and that he was just a game manager. And that's what it's looked like. He's got the intangibles. He can run. He's got a cannon for an arm, all that. But he has looked shaky. I saw something in the past whatever years. The only quarterback he was above was Jamarcus Russell. And you don't ever want to be associated with Jamarcus Russell when it comes to any kind of quarterback stats. So that is not good, but he gets another chance, and he's going to get another chance for the last 3 or 4 games. Justin Jefferson, interesting buy in Dynasty football. You tell me in the chat. All right, here's what I got offered. And this is a team that I'm not going to make the playoffs. And I declined it. But I probably could bring it back to life if I wanted to. So remember, Dynasty, you can keep the players forever. Each year you draft the new rookies that come in. I got offered Justin Jefferson and a 27 first. Now, this team is going to be loaded, especially if I give him the guy I'm about to give him. 27 first, it's going to be late. This guy is deep. He's got good quarterbacks. Like, I don't see him falling off. Obviously, it's all projection because things can happen. But this guy has got a good team. It's going to be a 109, 10, 11, 12, somewhere in that neighborhood. And he offered me Justin Jefferson and a late 27, his 27 first, which I think will be late, for Jamar Chase. And I declined. I said, I got to think about it, but I declined to be fair. Justin Jefferson could end up in QB hell. Now, he's also 9 months older. I think it's 9 or 10 months older than Jamar Chase. It's not a huge factor. I don't know. Maybe I rekindle that deal. What do you think? Am I an idiot? Should I have taken that deal? I just feel like Chase, and then I got to wait a year for that 27. I don't know. Does Jefferson end up like Garrett Wilson, where he's just in QB hell? All right. He had Cousins throwing to him. He had Darnold throwing to him. He's got these 2 junk guys throwing. He's not doing anything. I'm not. Justin Jefferson doesn't throw amazing. Justin Jefferson has also had a couple of hamstring injuries, right, the last couple of years. So I don't know. Am I wrong for wanting to get more for Jamar Chase, who him and Jigba are the number 1 receivers? I don't know. Chase, Addison, I'm interested. I don't know. There's a part of me that wants McCarthy to be successful. Just that gritty guy winning. His passing number is over 184.5, but I just can't. I don't have any J.J. McCarthy in redraft, in Dynasty. Hang on, I got to get a drink real quick while we think about this J.J. McCarthy thing. Let me know in the chat. Total bust? You got to give him a little time. Are we spoiled by all these rookie quarterbacks that come in and look good? Does the guy need some time? I don't know. The QB whisperer, Kevin O'Connell, Not whispering this kid. I don't know. This might be last chance. He's going against a soft defense here in the Commanders. We need a drink here. Now. These movies. All right. Thank you, folks. Thanks for hanging in there. Had to get a drink. Now, what I will say, okay, McCarthy has been slinging the ball. So it hasn't been that he hasn't tried. He's just been very inaccurate. Because I've actually been betting the Vikings a lot, and I kind of want to bet them again. Jaden Daniels, rusty. Commanders have a terrible defense. I still believe in Kevin O'Connell as a good coach. He's been trying, but they haven't connected. So is the number suppressed? Is there some value on Justin Jefferson or Jordan Addison? They're hard to play. I mean, you have to throw. If you drafted Justin Jefferson, you have to play. His number is 64.5. So how much does that really come down? Jordan Addison, 38.5. McLaurin, 55.5. I don't know. That's tough. Well, I got my daughter calling me here, live on the air. Hang on one second. I want to make sure it's not an emergency. Olivia, I'm in the middle of my show. Is it an emergency? Okay. Okay, calm down. That was I apologize. Sorry for that little delay there. That was my daughter calling. Not a major, small emergency, nothing major. But if I do have to run, I have to run. It is what it is. But we're okay for now. So hang in there. Hang tight, folks. Do I buy into the I don't buy into those Golf Pro 6264. I don't buy into them. I think the Vikings would be ridiculous to let them go. Unless they go full rebuild mode. Unless they go, this guy McCarthy sucks. He's done. And we're going to go full rebuild. We're going to draft another quarterback. We'll trade him. We'll get that money off the books. Addison will become our number one. But I don't really buy it. I think it's just, little diva behavior. And again, this happens with all receivers, right? I want my receiver to have a little diva in him. And Justin Jefferson has been a good soldier, 0 off the field issues, 0 problems whatsoever. I think he's just frustrated, and rightfully so. You go out there, you work, and you bust your hump, and you get open, and the ball is 15 feet over your head, or it's at your feet. I don't blame him. I don't buy into it. You can't let a guy that talented go unless you're getting a haul, and I just don't see it. I don't see it with that big contract he signed. I think he's staying. So good question, though, but just my gut tells me no. Anyhow, Aaron Jones is going to play. Good luck with those running backs. And it's too bad because this is a great matchup. This is one where if you have Jordan Mason, which I have a lot of Jordan Mason in dynasty leagues, that's one where you almost wish Aaron Jones was out. I wish he was out. You don't want to wish bad, but like Jordan Mason, I could see going nuts because this Commander's run defense is not very good. So this could have been a big game, and especially with McCarthy, they're going to want to run the ball. And now it's just muddled up. That would be one where, like, if Aaron Jones was out, I'd be looking at Jordan Mason props, yardage, carries. Now, who knows? What's the split going to be? 60-40, 70-30, 50-50. Is Aaron Jones really healthy? Do they go all Mason? And so you're kind of stuck in a tough spot. Although, maybe that suppresses the number for us. Like if Mason's like 30 yards, I would take the over just for fun. I think they use Jones more as a receiving back and Mason as the running back. Mason's 35.5. That's just tough because you don't know the split. But I do think they're going to run the ball a lot. You know what's interesting? I'd like to see I almost like to see under Jaden Daniels rushing and over J.J. McCarthy rushing. Listen, McCarthy hears the noise. He knows that everybody and their brother, I mean, come on, you got to be living under a rock. Everybody and their brother is talking about how terrible he is and this and that. You know that he knows he's got to come with it. So he's got to find a way to win this game, especially against a bad defense. It's a huge game for him to show up and show what he can do. Otherwise, it could be a one and done. This could be a Josh Rosen thing with Arizona, where it's 1 year and we reset and we go back to the drawing board. Interesting line. Okay. This is kind of interesting. Okay. J.J. McCarthy rushing. I like this. I think I'm going to make it a play. 15.5 yards rushing. He's mobile. Let me look at these games that he's played so far. Let me look at J.J. McCarthy. Something to me screams over on that. Something to me screams over. Let's see. J.J. McCarthy. All right. So he has started. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. He got knocked out. He really started and finished 5 games. 1, 2, 3 of those 5, he's gone over that number. I love it. This guy's career is on the line. It's a bad defense. He knows he's got to win. I absolutely love this. I love this show because it's therapeutic. We get to sit here and talk, and I love this line. J.J. McCarthy over 15.5 rushing yards. I got Jaden Daniels at 37.5. Oh, I like that under too. All right, so the under, I'm going over 15.5 McCarthy rush yards, and I'm putting a half of what? So let's say you put 20, put 10. Or if you put 50, put 25. I'm taking Jaden Daniels under. They don't want him running. Look at he's coming back off injury. Guys do not want to run a ton. So under 37.5 rush yards for Jaden Daniels. That's a lot of rushing yards. He's going to be very hesitant to rush. He's going to be under the blitz. They're going to be looking to check down. I like it. JJ 16.5 you got. I got 15.5. 16.5. That's close enough. I'm all on it. I am all on that one. I got to text my daughter very, very quickly just to make sure everything's okay. Hang on 1 second. I apologize, gents and girls. We'll find out, make sure everything is okay. All right, anywho, let's take a quick, we're getting close, and I've been told I got to keep these to an hour 45 or less. So that leaves us, okay, everything's fine with my daughter. We're good to go. I got to keep this to an hour and 45 or less. Let's see. Okay, Seahawks, Falcons. But let's take a quick look at our basketball games. We got 3 basketball plays. You can see them on the bottom ticker that are going live right now as we speak. We've got 61 points in the first half of the UConn game. I like that. That's pretty good. And it's close. East Texas is only down, 62 points. So we're getting even better. We got over 140.5. We like that. Kentucky only scored 20 points in the first half. And we got under 78.5 for their team total. We are fired up. We love that one. This one's coming down to the wire here. We lost Cincinnati Xavier. Cincinnati Xavier, 74 points. We had under 69.5 first half. There's a loser. Our other 2 are looking good. Let's hope we can have a 2-1 night. All right, what are you going to do? I just thought, hey, maybe this is not your father's Xavier and Cincinnati. All right, next game, Seahawks, Falcons. I got a play that I love in this game. I absolutely love the under 44.5. Okay, Sam Darnold starting to turn back into a pumpkin, folks. It happened last year in the playoffs. It's starting to happen now. And the Seahawks know. Oh, look at that. It's the Seahawks. Hey, good typing by me. It's not the Seahawks. It's the Seahawks. Anyhow, the Seahawks and the Falcons under 44.5. That's a key number, 44.5. They're trying to hide them. They're starting to go very run heavy. Kirk Cousins has looked awful. I know they won a game. Ugly game they won. He's looked bad. His arm is a rag. He can't move a lick. I mean, he is like literally a statue back there. He can't move at all. I don't see any scenario in which the Falcons score more than 16, 17 points. No Drake London. They're going to try to run the ball with Bijan Robinson. Unless the Seahawks come in and they just overlook the Falcons, I love under 44.5 in this ball game. I'm writing it down. It's an official play. Under, some plays we make while we're here on the spot. I loved this at the beginning of the week. Under 44.5, Seahawks, Falcons. And if the Seahawks get a lead, they're going to run the ball. They're going to take the air out of the ball. Seahawks, Falcons, write this down. They're trying to hide Darnold. They're trying to hide him. They're going to try to win with defense. They're going to try to win with the ball. They want him to be a game manager. And even if they get up, I just don't see any scenario in which this turns into a shootout. I really, really don't, unless Kirk Cousins throws 2 pick sixes. If he throws 2 pick sixes, we could be in trouble. But aside from that, I don't see it. Falcons team total, and this could be another side play that I take. I don't see a scenario they get to 20. There's no way they're getting to 20. 17.5 is their number. 17.5. I still like under. I don't see it. Seahawks side of the ball. Kenneth Walker, you could play. Charbonnet, if you're looking for a touchdown. Obviously, Jackson Smith and Jigba has been unbelievable. A.J. Barner, you can play the tight end. Everybody's healthy there. Cooper Kupp is healthy. I mean, you got to be pretty desperate in flex or something to throw Cooper Kupp in there. He's kind of a shell of himself. On the Falcons side of the ball, you're obviously playing Bijan Robinson. Darnell Mooney's a solid play. We finally hit Mooney 2 weeks ago. We didn't take him. We got our money back. We lost 4 weeks in a row, and we kept doubling down. And we finally hit, and we didn't touch it last week. I'm not touching it this week. Again, Kirk Cousins has looked bad. If anything, Kyle Pitts, because I just don't think Kirk, Mooney's more of a deep ball guy, and I just don't think Kirk can throw it that far anymore. I mean, he's a total statue, and he's got to go against this pass rush. It could get ugly for Kirk Cousins. I don't know who the backup is, but we might see that backup. I think Kirk Cousins is in some trouble. His number's 203.5. Receiving for Kyle Pitts, 54.5. That is a high number. Never mind. And 5.5 reception. So Vegas is on to us with that one. So no value there. I like the under. I'm going under. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. All right, Bengals and the Bills. Very, very big game. Buffalo -5 against the Bengals. I like the Bills here. I think the Bills, and this is one I wanted to talk about on the show, and I'll get your feedback as well if you're still in here. You're in the chat. Actually, it's 5.5 now. I still like the Bills. I think they're starting to play a little better, okay? Defense still not great. But if you're the Bills, okay, and you keep knocking at the door and you can't get past the Chiefs and you can't get past the Bengals in the playoffs and whatnot, and you haven't been in the Super Bowl with the Josh Allen window and the Josh Allen era, this is your golden chance. The Chiefs are vulnerable. Obviously, the Patriots have emerged. The Bengals are vulnerable. Lamar Jackson and the Ravens are not very good. The Steelers aren't that good. The Broncos, do people believe them? They got to see it, right? You got to see Knicks in the playoffs to believe it. This is your chance, Buffalo, with everybody being down. I love Buffalo to win the AFC. Now, I'm not saying they're favorite, but I like the line that I saw earlier. Let me take a line. I saw them at plus 500 to win the AFC. Conference futures. AFC. Plus 475. So it did drop a little. I still kind of like it. I like Buffalo. I know we got a lot of Pats fans in here, Connecticut, Maine, Massachusetts guys. I still like the Buffalo Bills. I think I like them in this game. What's their team total? I mean, I don't think I see a scenario they don't score 30 unless the weather's horrible. All right, let's see the team total for Buffalo. 29.5. I love it. And it's plus 115. Oh, wait. No, sorry. I apologize. That's unders plus 115. So 29.5 is minus 135. Gosh darn, that's a lot of points. Oh, geez. Never mind. I'm staying off. Vegas is on to us. But I like Buffalo in this game. Bengals side of the ball, T. Higgins cleared concussion protocol. Joe Burrow looked pretty good, and their defense looked better. The pass rusher, Hendrickson, is out. So that helps, obviously, Buffalo's offense. James Cook has been a league winner. You can play Chase Brown. This is a good fantasy game, right? The over-under is 53. So this should be they're expecting a good fantasy ball game. So you got Joe Burrow, you got Chase Brown, you got T. Higgins, you got Jamar Chase, obviously. You've got maybe Gesicki if you really need to. On the other side of the ball, the receivers are just so tough for Buffalo. You never know what you're going to get. Khalil Shakir, I guess, is the only guy you're really confident about. Does Brandon Cook start getting more involved? Kincaid looks like he's not playing. It's crazy that you have such an offensive juggernaut like the Bills, and it's really Josh Allen and James Cook are the only two guys you're really comfortable with playing. You can play Shakir. The other guys, good luck. Keep an eye on some of those guys, but I don't think there's anybody that you can, you feel comfortable starting and say, oh, this guy's going to get me 5 catches, because you just don't know. They spread the ball around. They run a ton with James Cook. I do want to see what the weather's going to be like in Buffalo. I do think I could see a Jamar Chase going berserk game. I mean, he's liable to go berserk any game, but Jamar Chase is just unreal. It is going to be in Buffalo, and this is a 4 o'clock game. Oh, boy, we got some snow. We got an inch of snow. No wind, though, and 31 degrees. So I'm staying away from those over things. We talked about. I do lean Buffalo. I don't know if I'm going to make an official play, but I do lean to Buffalo. And you got the fantasy info. You got what you needed there. Broncos and the Raiders. Broncos, number 2 seed in the AFC, playing great, winning games. They're ugly. They don't blow anybody out. They played the Raiders, and we had the Raiders as a play first half on a Thursday night, maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago, and they were at home as a 9.5-point favorite. Now they're on the road as a 7-point favorite. Now, Raiders are one of the weakest home field advantages in all of football. It's going to be a sea of orange probably at Allegiant Stadium. So you're going to have a lot of Broncos. You've got RJ Harvey, look for a big game. I'm still waiting for that big breakout. We had him last week, and he didn't get there for us. Let's see. We might go back to the well with RJ Harvey. Since he didn't get there, the number should be suppressed. We had him to get to 65 rushing yards. He's going to do it one of these games. Max Crosby is banged up. I mean, this could be the RJ Harvey game. This could be the RJ Harvey breakout we've been waiting for. Let's take a look, folks. Let's take a look at his rushing. Or maybe we look at his combined, because he's a good receiver. 52.5 rushing yards. Okay. His combined yardage is 69.5. I like it. 69.5 combined yards. And then let's see about a rushing alternate line, 65 plus 180. Okay, I'm making 2 plays. We're taking RJ Harvey, alternate line, over 64.5 rush, plus 180. So almost 2-to-1, folks. Okay, we like that. All right, we're also going to take his combined yardage, right? If he's going to get that, right? If we think he's going to get 65 rushing, he certainly should get 69, whatever it is, 69, 70 total. So over 69.5 total. RJ Harvey. We're calling this the RJ Harvey game. It's got to happen. He's getting the usage. He's too explosive. You got a banged up Raiders defense. You got a good Broncos O-line. Maybe no Max Crosby. Let me get a Crosby update. I know I got to keep this to an hour and 45, so we only got 20 minutes to go. So I got a boogie here. Let's see. Crosby. Oh, shoot. You know what? They don't. It's a fantasy site, so they don't tell me about defensive players. Max Crosby. But I know he's banged up. Long story short, he's banged up. And what do they got to play for? Let's be honest. Questionable. Still questionable. Game time decision. All right, let's get on it. Let's get on it before these lines change. We're calling out the RJ Harvey game. I like Cortland Sutton. I like Troy Franklin. Evan Engram got a lot of receptions last week, got a lot of targets. Evan Engram, he was banged up early in the year. Sean Payton called him the Joker, which whatever the hell that means. His number's 32.5 receiving yards. Evan Engram against a bad defense. What's he to get the 40? Oh, plus 135 to get the 40. We're loading up on Broncos here. Over 39.5 receiving for Evan Engram. He got heavily involved. I think he's getting healthy. He's becoming more of a part of the offense, more of a safety blanket, safety net for Bo Nix. I like Evan Engram. Get the 40, alternate line, plus 135. Again, if we split these props, we win because we're getting plus money. Raiders side of the ball, oh boy, is it ugly. You got to play Ashton Genty if you got him. Receivers, woof. You play Brock Bowers and you pray Geno can get him the ball. I've been talking about it for the last 2, 3, 4 weeks. I think Geno, at some point, they turn the page and let somebody else start. Maybe this is the final straw, or the straw that breaks the camel's back. I think Geno is awful. He can't move. He's making bad decisions. He's got happy feet. Obviously, their offensive line is atrocious. He's awful. Plain and simple. He's just awful. Brock Bowers is the guy there, but I'm not touching any of these props against that defense. So forget about it. Kind of, Raiders, maybe I'm staying away from it. And it's crazy because I like Raiders plus 9.5 on the road, but I don't like them here. No Max Crosby, maybe. Could be time for some business decisions to start being made by some of these Raiders. All right. Big time game. Our buddy Jay Joseph, the resident Bears, expert Bears fan. Bears and the Packers. Big game in the NFC North. Packers favored by 6.5. Lot of points. Bears, one of the most surprising teams in the NFL. Big news on the Bears side of the ball. Offensive side of the ball. Monangai's playing. So it'll be the two-headed monster, Monangai and Swift. No Rome Odunze, and he is now week to week. And some reports are saying he could miss 3 to 4 weeks until the playoffs. Wheels up for DJ Moore. Wheels up for Luther Burden, a guy that we have been talking about on this show for 5-6 weeks. Not 6-7, 5-6 weeks. Luther Burden to maybe emerge, okay, against a great Green Bay defense. Very good defense. They're top 3 defense, I think, in the NFL. So they may have to throw the ball. So look for Burden. And Colston Loveland. Love Colston Loveland. Packers are actually very average against the tight end. So let's see Colston Loveland. But again, no Odunze. So plan for that if you're in fantasy. Remember, you got any start-sit questions, please let us know. All right, let's see. Colston Burden, 40.5. He's now lead. He's projected to be their leading receiver. Colston Loveland, 39.5. Now, Burden is a slot guy. So that's one where we were talking here earlier with Golf Pro that was on with us. Adonai Mitchell. He's not like a volume catch guy. So we don't – the 3.5, we didn't mind it, but not minus 165 or whatever it was. Luther Burden, he could be like a 5 for – I think he's going to pass his 40.5, but I think he's going to get – I like his catches more because he's a slot guy. He's a quick pass guy. He's a guy you set up screens for. Over 3.5 catches for Luther Burden. I love it. I'm taking it. Over 3.5 catches, Luther Burden. Over 3.5 catches. And it's minus 120. So I don't love minuses, but 120 is not that well. That's minus 120. We love that. And I'm kind of liking the over in this game. I think the Bears are going to find a way to get their points. Caleb's been rushing a lot. I love Caleb's rushing. It's funny. I didn't have a lot of player props in these early games, but now I'm starting to get fired up. Maybe it's the high noon's kicking in. Maybe the margarita's kicking in. I don't know. Caleb Williams over 20.5. I'm not seeing anything there prop-wise. If you want to play Colston Loveland and Luther Burden props, I don't mind it. I like them both. I like the over 3.5 Luther Burden. On the Packers side of the ball, Watson playing, Christian Watson playing, Romeo Doubs playing. Tight end-wise, they got nothing anymore. Luke Musgrave has failed to step up. Romeo Doubs and Watson are really the two guys. You got Jaden Reed still not medically cleared to come back. We've been saying to stash him for a while, but that dream may be dying a slow death every week as we see no Jaden Reed. Excuse me. That's really it. Matthew Golden is still questionable. He's been a bust. First round, just really a dud, really a bust. Yeah, not good for Matthew Golden. So those are your guys there. I like the over. I lean over 44.5. Let me just check the weather out there in old Green Bay, Wisconsin, to make sure we don't have 30-mile-an-hour winds or something. But other than that, I think these offenses are both pretty good. I think and Jordan Love, they've been letting him air it out a little bit more. It is going to be 19 degrees. Woo, boy. Sunny and not much wind. 19 degrees for Caleb. You better paint your nails, buddy. Paint those nails and, wear some gloves. All right, Rams and the Cardinals. Devontae Adams will play. Puka Nacua, obviously, those guys are great plays and a high implied team total over under. Love those two guys. They've just been dominant. Kyron Williams. I know he was banged up in, some rumblings. Blake Corum had a really good game that he may start slowly taking over. I will believe it when I see it because I still think it's Kyron Williams. Sean McVay is loyal to those guys. Yeah, he's off the injury report. He's going to play. But Blake Corum's not a guy to stash. So here, in fantasy, this brings up a great point. In fantasy, now is a great time to start getting your handcuffs. You've got top guys and you got room on your bench. Start handcuffing those guys. I'm not a huge handcuff guy throughout the year, but as you get now into the playoffs and something happens and a guy goes down, you want to have that backup more available than having just some random dart throw. If it hasn't happened for Kyle Williams of the Patriots or Malik Washington of the Dolphins, I'm just throwing out names that are popping in my head. Okay? Cut those guys loose. Get the backup. If you have Kyron Williams, you should have Blake Corum. If you have Christian McCaffrey, you should have Brian Robinson. Get the backups now. This is the time to load up and get the backups, okay? Obviously, you're starting your main guys on the Rams. It's 4 guys. It's Stafford, MVP season, Kyron Williams, Puka, Devontae. Boom. Easy. That's what we love about that team. Very easy. Now, on the Cardinal side of the ball, reports. Big news here on the Cardinal side of the ball. No Marvin Harrison Jr. with a heel injury. No Kyler Murray. No Greg Dortch. And in fact, they're saying Kyler Murray may not play the rest of the season. I kind of knew that already. Jacoby Brissett has been unbelievable. He's been a top 12 quarterback every game he started. I don't know what happened to him because he was kind of a game manager when he would sub in for the Colts or sub in for the Pats way back in the day. Something got into Brissett, and he is just slinging it. Maybe he's like one of those people that just got to the age where you just go, screw it. Screw it. I'm slinging the ball, man. I'm out here playing a kid's game. I'm in the backyard, and I'm just slinging the ball around. Maybe that's what he's gotten into. So I see huge day. You're absolutely right, Dr. Golf Pro. Huge day for Trey McBride. That guy's been unbelievable. I just looked it up. He's the number 4. Is it 3 or 4? 3 or 4 player in PPR in fantasy. That's including running backs, wide receivers, everything. He has been absolutely incredible. Let me look it up again. Flex. Number 4. He's right behind Jonathan Taylor. He scored more fantasy points than Jackson Smith and Jigba. Can you believe that? That's insane. And then Jigba's having like a record-breaking year. Trey McBride is low-key because he's on like a bad team in Arizona, whatever. He has been unbelievable. You're right. He has not scored less than double digits all year in fantasy. He's been an absolute rock. Look, holy Ready for this? Since week 6, here's his tight end finishes, where he finishes at, the top tight end or second, third, but tight end 2, 1, 6, 1, 1, 2, 2 since week 6. So his last 7 weeks, he has finished worst. His worst week was 5 for 55 and a touchdown. Trey McBride to the moon. Now, Michael Wilson. I just made a trade for him in Dynasty. Michael Wilson in the 2 games with no Marvin Harrison had 18 targets and 15 targets. And that was with Greg Dortch in the lineup. Greg Dortch is not in the lineup. He's not walking through that door. Michael Wilson could be a huge addition if you need a big win to get in the playoffs. And the rumors are the Cardinals don't have much to play for. Are they going to risk Marvin Harrison, who's nursing a heel injury and had the appendectomy? Are they going to risk him? Michael Wilson could be, I hate to throw this term around, could be a league winner or certainly a game changer here down the stretch, especially in a game at home. Jacoby Brissett's been slinging it, and they're expected to be trailing. So it should be having to throw the ball a lot. I agree. Huge day for McBride, Golf Pro. Load up. Let's see what those numbers are. They got to be astronomical. Vegas, there's no way they're, I bet you McBride's in the 90s numbers. Where, we took him a few weeks ago at 75.5 or something, or 72.5, something like that. His numbers got to be astronomical. Got to be. 75.5? I wouldn't be afraid to take that. I would not be afraid to take McBride over 75.5. In fact, we are taking it. Over 75.5 McBride yards. I'm not doing an alternate. I'm just taking that. He's going to get peppered. I mean, he hasn't been below that number, and God knows how long. I think he had one game. That one game I told you where he's wide tight end 6. He's been over that number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of the last 6 games, he's been over that number. We're all over it. And now you got no Marvin Harrison. Now, here's the other interesting news. And this hurts me in a deep league that I've been stashing Trey Benson. He may not play this year, they're saying now. I've been waiting for this dude to come back because I'm in a deep league, 14-team league, 18 bench spots. There's nobody on the waiver wire. And I got Trey Benson just chilling, and Hampton. And somehow my team's like 15-9. We play double headers, or maybe I'm 17-9. Whatever it is, I'm going to make the playoffs. And I've been waiting for Trey Benson and Myron Hampton. And I don't think Trey Benson's coming. So Donovan Knight becomes viable. Michael Carter if you really need it. But it's really Brissett you can play. I mean, I'd play Brissett over Caleb Williams, I think. There's not many guys I'm not playing Brissett over. Okay, so Brissett's been great. Michael Wilson, McBride, obviously. No real thoughts on this game. Obviously, the Rams are going to take it serious after losing that stinker against the Carolina Panthers. All right, we're down to 2 games to go. Here we go. Texans and the Chiefs over under 41.5. Going to be very cold in KC. Texans defense playing great. Big win over the Colts. We love that under. We nailed it. We got Texans at the Chiefs. Chiefs favored by 3.5. As you can see, headlights coming in. The wife is home with the kiddos. And it's perfect timing because we only got about 10 minutes left in the show. So she was out at some family, something at the school, snow thing, whatever. They had bouncy houses, the whole 9 yards, winter wonderland, whatever the heck that mumbo jumbo is. Texans side of the ball, Woody Marks is going to play. You got Nico Collins. You got Jaden Higgins, who's become a viable option in the passing game, getting a lot of work. CJ Stroud, still a little shaky, but that's really all the guys you're playing there. You can play Dalton Schultz if you need to play Dalton Schultz. What's up, guys?
Hi.
Welcome home. Kids are back. They're home.
Hi. Hey. Make them good drafts.
Get out of here. Oh, my goodness. I had nobody to introduce me. I had nobody to say live from the Fantasy Garage. How was your night? You had a good time?
Yeah.
What do you got, a new book?
Yeah.
What was it, bouncy houses and stuff? You have hot cocoa or anything?
Oh, yeah.
I thought there was
At school, everything was sold out.
Hey,
They were giving
no bouncing the ball. Yeah, but everybody can hear that. Everybody's going to hear that ball bounce in their head. They're all going to have migraines. All right. I got like 10 minutes left to finish up the show, dude. What do you think? Anything you like?
About what?
I don't know. In general. What are your thoughts on football? You got any thoughts for us? Who you with?
Big Blue.
That's right. We're with the Giants through thick and thin. He's with Big Blue. Of course he is. All right. Anyhow, Chiefs side of the ball. Kareem Hunt, you can play. You can play Kelsey, Rashee Rice. It's tough defense they're going against. And huge game on Sunday Night Football. Xavier Worthy been very disappointing. You know, he's one of those guys. He's like a Darnell Mooney. I keep loving to go to him because the number's not high, and I just hope for that one deep reception that I can get from Xavier Worthy. Let's see what his number's at. It's been like in the 30s, man. 33.5, dude. I have to. You know what? This is one I want alternate because if he gets one, he's getting a long one. And I know it's a good defense they're going against, but they're going to be focused on Rashee Rice. They're going to be focused on Travis Kelce. All right, what's this number? It's got to be huge. What the heck are you? All right, Xavier Worthy, 50 yards plus 190. I'm taking a lot of props. Worthy, over 49.5. What the heck did I say it was? Plus 190. Woo-hoo! We love it, baby. We love that. As far as the game, if it was Chiefs -3, I take it. I think this is just a game the Chiefs find a way to win. And I was talking with a friend the other day, Richie Yamaguchi, friend of the program, and we talked about Chiefs plus 850 to win the AFC. That's a live bet. I know they're on the outside looking in the playoff picture, but it's the Chiefs, man. It's the Chiefs. Are they really done? Is this the end of the dynasty or whatever you want to call it? Is it the end? Could be. Just quick update. Kentucky only has 43 points with 8 minutes to go. So we're looking really good there. And in that UConn game, second half, we are at 78 points with 16 minutes to go. We need a little love there. We need some three-pointers to go in. But we're looking good. We're looking like a split right now with that UConn game in the balance. I don't know. I just think KC, man, I think it's now or never for those guys. And as my friend Pard says, never bet against 15. Speaking about, Patrick Mahomes, let's see their schedule. They got Chargers home. Then they got Titans, Broncos, Raiders. So you figure Titans and Raiders are 2 locks. I think if they get 2 of 3 of the Texans, Chargers, Broncos, what's that put them at? 8? That puts them at 10-7. They're going to get in at 10-7, I think. I think they win this game. I really do. I wish it was 3. I'm not going to play it at 3.5. That hook, the hook gets you back. As Blues Traveler said, I'm not taking it with the hook, but there's your stuff. We got a Worthy play. I'm a sucker for Worthy. This is Darnell Mooney now. He's the new Darnell Mooney. We got to take him until we get the over. All right, and finally, Monday Night Football. Really nothing you can do until you find out about Justin Herbert. Eagles at the Chargers. Eagles coming off a terrible game. I can tell you right now, if it's Chargers plus 3, I'm on it. But right now, it is Eagles minus 2.5. If I get 3, I'm on it. I think Herbert's playing. He's a tough guy. It's his non-throwing hand. He'll put something on. He's going to play. Omarion Hampton is supposed to be back, but that murkies the water, just like the Aaron Jones situation. What's the split look like with him and Vidal? Obviously, the Eagles just got gashed against the run by the Chicago Bears. So you would like to play your running backs, but you don't know what the split's looking like. Lad McConkey, you can play. Quentin Johnson, questionable. I'd be scared. Aronde Gadsden, hey, here we go. I like Aronde Gadsden. He's had 3 or 4 down games in a row. Eagles are not great against the tight end. I like Aronde Gadsden. Eagles side of the ball. What's going on with Saquon? Can they get anything going on the ground game? Their offensive line has not been what it was. A.J. Brown's been crushing it. Devontae Smith's going to play. Dallas Goedert going to play. You have to play all those guys if you have them. But I'm interested in this Gadsden number. And again, I like Chargers if it gets to 3. I like the Chargers a lot if it gets to 3. Harbaugh as an underdog. I love it. But right now it's 2.5. And I don't know if it ever gets to 3 because I think obviously if Herbert's going to lock the play, it probably drops to 2. It might be something I tease where I tease the Chargers up. Stay posted on that one. Receiving, Gadsden. 37.5. Like it, don't love it. I was hoping it would be lower 30s. I mean, if I did anything, I'd take him to get to 50. We'll let you know about this one on Monday. We'll see what happens with Herbert. We'll see what happens with the rest of the injuries, and we'll let you know. It's kind of crazy. We don't have a ton of sides here this week. But that's my thoughts on that game. The running backs, we're going to be getting off here in just a minute. So if you have any questions, get them into the chat now. So just to recap, we're going to recap everything. We have in college football tomorrow. Love this. We had Jeff Schneider, guy who knows college football, friend of the program, jump in and also confirm that he loves it. Over 46.5 points in the Ohio State-Indiana game. We love it. Fast track. 2 good offenses. The offenses are better than the defenses. Simple as that. We think both teams get to the 20s easily. We love that over. Oh, my God. Might go crazy on that one. Take a deep breath, but I might go crazy on that. All right. Now, as far as what we like in the NFL, we're going hog wild here, people. Now, if the Jets get to 3, we're taking the Jets. Right now, it's 2.5. If it gets to 3, we're taking them. We are taking the Pittsburgh Steelers plus 6. Steelers, Ravens, we're going with history. We're going with taking a dog. We're going with it being a close game somehow. We are taking more history. We're taking the Jaguars plus 1.5. I mean, come on. 9 straight losses for the Colts in Jacksonville. We're taking it. We are taking the Tennessee Titans plus 4. Bad teams favored. Titans getting healthier. Browns, I don't know. Weather's going to be crazy. Low over under. I could easily see in this be a 13-10 game. Easily see a 13-10. I'm going to hold off on the Vikings, but we got some player props there. We love Seahawks Falcons under 44.5. We're all over that one. And that's it really for the side. So it's really Steelers, Jags, Titans under 44.5 in the Seahawks Falcons game. And then if the Jets get to 3 and if the Chargers get to 3, I'm going to hold off on the Bills for now. I was thinking about the Bills. I was thinking about the Vikings. I'm going to hold off for now. I'm also going to hold off on Bears, Packers. I was leaning over, but we got a lot of player props, so I'm staying off of it, okay? Let's see what we got here. Do I post these anywhere? Yeah, so I will put them in the chat. And then what I'll also do for you, Dr. Golf Pro, is Sunday morning. Stay tuned. It usually comes out 9 o'clock in the morning, 10 o'clock in the morning. I also do a quick one. It's a 3-minute, the fastest 3 minutes in sports. And I give you inside 3 minutes, short video. And I go rapid fire, give you all these. But I will put them in the chat. Yes, sir. Absolutely. That's why I'm writing them down to make sure we got it. Because I love this. Because we get to talk it out. We get to chat it out. You know, we found some good ones. We found some ones that we didn't love the number. And that's what this is all about. It's to get in here and have a little community where we can all talk about these games. And at the end of the day, have fun. And at the end of the day, make some money, right? That's the whole point of this, right? Be entertained and make some money. All right, now player props. We went nuts. We got J.J. McCarthy over 15.5 rushing yards. Jaden Daniels under 37.5 rushing yards. R.J. Harvey over 64.5 rush yards plus 180. R.J. Harvey over 69.5 total yards. Over 39.5 receiving yards for Evan Ingram plus 135. Over 3.5 catches for Luther Burden. Over 75.5 receiving yards for Trey McBride. And Xavier Worthy over 49.5 receiving yards plus 190. There you have it, folks. Great day. Great show. Thank you to the new guys in the chat. Dr. Golf Pro, appreciate you, man. Please make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. You'll get my short videos. I'll probably have a short up tomorrow, going further in depth in the Indiana-Ohio State game. And then again, I'll have them all. I'll have the plays in the chat, but then I'll also have a short video. Usually comes out Sunday morning, and that will describe everything. We got a great lineup of shows on the channel. Rookies of the Year on Monday mornings. We've got Prop Stars with TJ and Buff on Tuesday and Thursday. Abby's Ranch Show on Wednesday nights. Thursday nights is with the two ladies. I forget the names, but great. They're hockey. It's a hockey show. So we've got everything covered. Hopefully you've been entertained this evening. I've had a lot of fun. Like I said, this is semi-therapeutic. I get to talk sports and get stuff off my chest and converse with you all. We'll have a guest next week, I promise. Both guests that I had lined up had things pop up this evening. Family stuff, holidays, December. One, Jay Joseph had a basketball game. Godfather, friend of the program, he had a work Christmas party. So, hey, those things pop up. We're used to it. Remember, we're going to have a college football expert before the playoffs. Brendan Murphy joined the channel. This is the spot, man. Weekend update, Friday night, 7 o'clock. This is your one-stop shop to get you ready for the weekend. We'll get ramping up. Let's take one last peek before we sign off at the UConn basketball game because we're 1-1 right now in the college basketball games. Yeah, Kentucky's got 49. They got to get to 78.5, and there's 5 minutes left. So we win that Kentucky game big time. Should have taken Gonzaga with it, but that's okay. And then UConn is – where are we at with points here in UConn? We are at 90 points with 12 minutes to go, and we got to get to 140.5. So that's very, very live bet. We're at 90 points with 12 minutes to go. 92 points now with 12 minutes to go. So we got to get 41 plus 8, 49 points in 11 minutes. Very doable. So our night's going to come down to that. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for being with us. Thank you, Dr. Golf Pro. I'll put these plays in the chat at the bottom. Please like and subscribe. Please share it. Please follow me on Twitter at Dustino1. We appreciate you all. Let's have a great week 14. May all your fantasy teams make the playoffs, and let's win some money in fantasy. Let's win some money on these bets. Thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend.